Very, very welcome, all of you. I want to just share quickly one or two pointers which may help somebody, and then we can start talking, exploring together. One pointer which I found very useful was the appropriateness of sadhana or appropriateness, in the on the spiritual path or direction. What happens is that whenever we lean towards one side too much, while we are on the spiritual path and trying to keep ourselves balanced and focused, that is the time when we experience discomforts or confusions or kind of unhappiness, inner unhappiness too much. Those are the regions mainly. Those are the times when we lean too much on one side. Like some may feel like I don't like bhajans at all. Some may feel like this. Some may feel like I like bhajans too much. For example, which is basically means a attachment, not really a value created out of understanding. It's more like unconscious attachment or detachment, like attachment or liking or disliking for something. So that I found that as long as the balance remains, we get the maximum from any spiritual activity or as a whole from the spiritual path also. Let's take an example of meditating. Let's say we will meditate maybe today also in this meeting at some point, guided meditation. If we keep ourselves balanced during that, like if we can keep ourselves, if we can ignore those things about which we are not certain, and if we can stick to only that which we really know on the subject of meditation, let's say when we are doing meditation, it will help us so much in keeping us in the balance. Even if we may not feel like we may feel that when I will succeed in meditation, it will feel like, oh yeah, I'm succeeding. No, it is the opposite. When we feel I'm succeeding, mostly we are not succeeding. When we don't feel like succeeding, we just feel balanced, nice, everything going well, and we like to go more in the same direction or depth. Like I want to continue going deeper in this direction. Then that time we are actually succeeding. Mostly. When we are succeeding in meditation, we don't really know that we are succeeding. We just feel nice. We just feel happy. We just feel peaceful. Like it's very nice. I want to continue. So there are something about it. I'm just trying my best to explain that. Even if we are not succeeding, let's say as per our own understanding of what it means to succeed in meditation, yet we will get the maximum out of every session, like this. It's about just remaining balanced somehow. And also it's about actually participating. Like we can get so much, let's say from a guided meditation. Like let's stick to the same example. Let's say the guiding begins, and you already immediately feel kind of resistance, like a discomfort or distraction or something. Like, this time is like not for me. But very likely in the beginning for a few seconds it is possible. Then what you will do? Can you run away from this session? Think about it. If you can run away, that's fine. No? But not that you don't. Most probably you don't want to run away. You know, it's just the feeling is coming that I want to run away from it. No? And you are also not supporting it. No? That's why you are not running away. No? What to do with this now? No? Even here, when this feeling comes of resistance for guiding, something can be done about it. That we can start becoming aware of it or more comfortable with it, that yes, it happens. So my options are run away. Okay, I will run away. Until I run away, I am not running away. Okay, yes, I am not running away. Then until I run away, I am here. Okay, I am here now. What to do when I am here? What are my options when I am here? When I ran away, then no options anyway in relation to the guided meditation, which was happening. But now that I am here and I have not run away yet, what are my options? Why don't I just have a look? What is going on here? Oh yeah, let's see what this guy is saying. Is it really working? Is it really some kind of thing that can help me? Have a look by being here. But by being clear that I'm here right now and not running away. When you are not running away, that time don't run away. That time remain here only. No. This is what I'm saying. This is what it means to be appropriate on the spiritual, in the spiritual activity and as a whole on the spiritual path. Because otherwise we are just continuously struggling with our own self only. No? And here we can clear up things very, very quickly. And this teacher, Rajee, never says anyone to give any advice to anyone that do this, don't do this. It's a free offering. It's a free guided meditation happening. Anyone can join or not join. Turn off your video or anything is fine. No. So why you are putting that pressure on yourself? No? At least not. You should not do it from my side. I'm not asking any one of you to do that. No. Do you see? So it's just internal confusion going on, conflict going on. And that can be so simply resolved because it's not about a particular thing. It is a general conflict going on inside, which just manifests, which just highlights or surfaces in different specific situations. Have you not noticed the first resistance that comes from inside us? As soon as we hear the word, just sit and do nothing. Just sit is okay, but do nothing part, as soon as we hear do nothing, immediately resistance comes. Have you not noticed it? And is it not a good time to notice from where it comes? Who is resisting to it? No? Because we cannot force ourselves to meditate. We can only understand. No? It's like that. So this is one pointer I thought can be helpful because I was on the path of spirituality for a long time and I did many things like meditation practices and all. So I got to experience certain things and I thought that it can be helpful to some. You know. Our biggest challenge on the path of spirituality is our inner struggle. The challenges that come by practicing some practice or following some path are much less really and mostly not there actually, because what happens is that whenever we are actually able to walk on a path, a spiritual path, or able to practice a spiritual practice, we get the reward of it, which is very sweet and beautiful. We feel the truth of it in a way, and we feel that progress actually that we are getting, like an attainment, inner attainment is actually felt and the joy is felt also. And then it kind of very nicely compensates with that price or with that apparent, cost we are paying to it. We feel it's okay, I'm fine. And that inner struggle is a strange thing, which neither let us go for it, so that we can actually see whether there is something in it for us or not. Nor it let us remain totally aloof from it. No? That okay, not for me. Maybe it is not for you. Not all the practices are for everyone. No? So maybe this practice is not for you. Maybe this talk is not for you. Maybe this session is not for you. Maybe no. But the thing is that even by saying that it is not for me, we are not happy. We are not peaceful still. No? Why? Or some are supremely happy by saying that this is for me. Not only this session, not this technique, rather like some of you say, this teacher is for me, you say like this. It's a very big statement, no? Big declaration that no, you are for me. Why? Because you are very clear. No? You know what I mean? So improvement is possible and it is all internal. It has nothing to do really with anyone directly, including me or my sharings and like that. Why I am sharing these things? So that I have the feeling that we should really come together in satsang. We should really meditate together in the guiding. No, this is the region I am speaking like this. Even if you are not doing anything during a guiding, still your presence will be appreciated by me. I will appreciate your presence still. You know? Because satsang basically is a people coming together and living as the presence. No, essentially this is what it is anyway. So that satsang between me and you will continue. Your contribution to yourself will continue in satsang. No? You will be benefited by satsang also. Guiding meditation mainly happens because we are stuck somewhere and we don't know where, and we want to go reach somewhere else and we don't know where. So that guiding simply works like a flow. We just join the flow, and out of that, from which we want to get out, and into that in which we want to go into also. It's like it works like a one thing. That's why it works for most of the people. Everybody is happy with the guiding. No? This is the reason. But guiding is not for those who are like stuck like this, not going anywhere anyway. Not for them. It's not going to work. There will be such a struggle, no? Like, oh my God. So let us learn to sit here first in satsang, or on our chair, no? So let us learn to sit on our chair first, no? I'm just feeling inspired to speak like this. I hope that it will be useful in some way to some, if not all. Let us see that am I comfortable sitting where I am right now? Because I hope you are clear. Nobody is forcing you to be in this meeting, no? You have come here by your own joy, no? Isn't it? It is my joy to meet you, by the way. So I very much appreciate your presence here every time. But are you equally happy or not? This is the point. I don't mean I'm not putting a burden on you that you should be happy, but I'm just checking. But you can be happy, no? What is being happy? Being is being happy, no? Not being is not being happy. What is the not being? That is what is ego. Not being is ego. Not being cannot be attained without effort. Not being is like a lot of effort 24 hours a day. That is ego. No? Lot of effort 24 hours a day. That is not being. And in that not being state, we are troubled, we are unhappy now, and we are trying to get out of it. And still we have a lot of beliefs there, or our confidence in a way, in the knowledge. Like believing in the mind is still a lot. No? And it is able to tell us, no, one day I am going to succeed. We are going to succeed one day. Try to think right now, just for a moment, how you can become what you already are. Or can you? How you can become yourself by doing some practice. And even if you can become, will it be worth? And will it ever be free from effort? It will never be free from effort, no? Anything which comes out of effort requires continuous maintenance also, no? Do you see what I am saying? So effort is not necessary for you to become what you are already. But effort is necessary to know this truth. And our effort is going in becoming. That's why our effort is not able to come in the direction of discovering, no? Or appreciation. Core meditation, what we do together, no? Just sitting, is not really an effort to become something. It is a appreciation for what we are, no? Already. And it's a actual activity in a way of living what we are, no? Meditation, core meditation basically is living what we are, which is apparently an activity, but really not. No? It's more of an appreciation, not really activity as such. You know, meaning if it is activity, it's not an external activity, external to the doer. Activity is happening within the doer only, no? Within the doing force or doing presence, no? The being is doing something within itself, appreciating itself. You know, when I'm speaking like this and you are listening, there are very high possibilities that you can already sense your presence right now, your being right now. That makes sense. That I don't I don't need to do anything to be myself, but I need to appreciate and live myself. So this is something I just felt. Thank you for listening. Anybody can talk if you want to talk to me. I think Anna, this is called sync because the Anna in person and Anna online both want to talk.
Thank you, Jay. I often feel in sync sometimes with Anna online and also Uma online. Many times it happens. Um, uh, this thing of tiredness and ego and everything, I'm experiencing it like this now, that for some time I did not want to do sadhana, so I was not pushing myself. But recently I'm feeling resistance. So I have your video open on my laptop and I want to listen to something, and I say I'll just finish this work and then and then and then. And so I was thinking this looks very much like resistance to me. And funnily enough, sadhana came back then. And I'm doing sadhana again now very joyfully. So I'm it's just I thought I'll share this. And one more thing about tiredness is that the moment it's a funny little thing. The moment I feel tired, I say, silly me, just relax, nothing's happening. And I relax, and it's absolutely fine. And I can relax and I don't have to be tired. So yeah,
Yes, yes.
thank you.
It's a very good, simple report, which highlights many things which I also shared in the beginning. When we are tired, it's a very beautiful time because then we feel like resting, no? And that never can cause suffering or any other struggle. But there is something which causes struggle and suffering to most of us continuously. What is that? Is what we have to discover. That is like this. Have we noticed children, uh, a particular child, let's say, uh, in the night or any time in the day, is sleepy, very sleepy now, and want to just sleep now, and want to do nothing else really. But because of its interest in the play which is going on right now, or as such desire to play, is very strong also. Now it is moody also that time little bit, like throwing tantrum also little bit, and don't want to sleep also, and want to sleep also. This is what happens, and this is what is that middle state in which many of us are caught up. Like not pure state, pure state of doing something, pure state of not doing something, that's the key. But not pure state, like a mixed state. That state is kind of deciding where to lean, do something or just rest. Rest? No, I think do something. So that mix is what is the key, fundamental key. Everywhere it is like this. And it has been spoken, pointed out by the great beings, Guruji also, Osho also, other great beings, that we have to be careful and we have to do something about it. Like what we call, let's say, laziness. Laziness is not really need to relax, need to rest, because we are tired. No, that's not laziness. No. Laziness is something like a mix of two things, where there is not enough rest taken last night, and there is a sense that I have to do something important today also, let's say. And it could be actual scenario, let's say. That time you will feel lazy a little bit, which will be valid, that is okay, accepted. But even when we don't have so much to do, spiritual beings particularly, many have taken time off from life also, quite a lot. You know, like almost like, literally doing nothing in the practical life. And if still feeling tired or kind of that kind of laziness, why? You know what I mean? So there is a lot of energy, it has got accumulated in a way. Energy means like, you can say the imprints or the certain state of energy accumulated inside us. That has to be flushed out in a way, or something has to be done basically about it. When somebody feels lazy, let's say, that whole day I feel sleepy or something, what people suggest, like, doctor and all, either the medicine or something, or they suggest exercise. Is it not a strange thing? Like you will feel, if you were not aware of the things, that what are you saying? I feel lazy. Why? How would I do any exercise? No, no. Actually, this is the answer to feeling lazy. You know what I mean? And this is where, in the practical life, in the body level, we are okay. Like we know, yeah, that makes sense. But in the internal, in spiritual, we don't understand this. We feel, no, I'm feeling lazy. I don't want to do anything. Because if we were feeling tired, then that's the most beautiful thing. Because whenever we rest, please understand, we rest in God. Because we rise from God always. No. We rest in the presence of God only. We rest in the source of life only. Whenever we rest, even little bit. So why it would be bitter? It will always be sweet. Like we rise as a wave of energy, as a sense of doer, as a sense of doing from the source of life, then we fall back, which is resting. No? Why it would be bitter? No? So thank you that you clearly, you are making your states clear. Clear states is the key. Like it should be clearly defined what I am doing right now. Meaning it should be clear to us what I am doing right now. Like talking, thinking, discussing, doing something, not doing something, not doing something also. In the ancient times, if not now, it has been noticed. It was very much accepted activity, just sitting in the villages or somewhere like this, looking around with the nature, no? And not at all talking about, oh, beautiful sky, you know, because that time we were not so much of a social media mind, I think. We were like, okay, appreciating, living, no? Like, like so deeply living that we become one with the sky and the nature and everything that where we are now. Then we would not really need meditation technique. Now we are already doing the right thing at the right time, no? Meaning our states are pure now already, no? So spiritual effort also is to wake up that wisdom inside us, or wake up the being that we are also, who can see that pure state is very important. It's not about doing or not doing. It's about doing, not doing when not doing. It's about that. It's about that purity of being active or passive. No? This is where totality comes in play. Totality is a natural way of being. And totality is like a difficult thing to achieve for the person state. Because in the person state, we are not in any pure state of doing or not doing. We are in a state on its own, in a way. That is called ego state. On its own, like it has its own state in which it is just doing its own things continuously, internally, maintaining thoughts, feelings, and its understanding of life and everything. No? A story of life and sense of identity, most importantly. It is maintaining everything within itself. You, the being, getting no chance to actually live. Like it decides, no, this is not the time to be happy because there is so much sadness happening in me right now. In me. In me is like sky is saying that there is so much grey clouds inside me that I cannot rejoice right now. Not really. It cannot be a true expression of the sky. When the sky is identified with the clouds, then maybe true. Then true. No? Like this, we have forgotten that what is called ego is happening inside us, and we are not it. Dhyan and Satsang enables us to become disidentified from it, to become clear who we are. But what we are talking right now still applies to that energy which was doing its own thing separate from the will of the being that we are. Now it will do everything in the will of the being that we are. And life is amazing actually here. Because when you want to do some work, even if supremely tired, you can never suffer. It is only going to be joyful. It can be tiring, but not suffering. You will be supremely joyful, even when supremely tired and you decide to do something. You know what I mean? So suffering is something to be very deeply understood. Suffering and being a person are not really two things. They are one and the same thing. How we remain as a person mainly because of believing in the way of the person to solve the suffering. No? We believe that this way can work. Then we remain as a person in the hope that I will become free from suffering. However, being the person is the root cause of suffering. There is only one root cause of suffering, that is not flowing. Flowing, there is no suffering possible. Flowing that which can flow, and living that which does not flow, which just does not move. No, the being that we are. It's a perfect, amazing, like perfect way, perfect state of affairs. No, thank you. It's very nice. Thank you. Anna, you want to talk?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste.
We are definitely, the Annas are definitely always in sync. Now, on the note of suffering, I would like to share something very small from yesterday. I went to a concert of flamenco, and it is
Flamenco is a dance,
gitanos.
no?
Yes, flamenco is a dance. It's from gitanos, which is actually they are coming from India, and they were moving from because of hunger and not having enough, all the way to Andalusia and to Spain, right? And it's beautiful music, but while I was listening, it is also so full of suffering. This music, and it's coming from this suffering, and then it struck me that it is just, like they left India to have this long circle of suffering for some reason. But also it was very clear that this suffering is so close with freedom, because gitanos were also they are like free people. They sleep under the sky. They move whenever they want. They're not attached to any country really. And yes, I was just thinking like they could have had a shortcut if they stayed in India to freedom. I mean,
There could be, in reality, there could be different regions. So maybe you're right, or maybe you're not also right.
And the other thing I wanted to share was this whole week. I don't know what happened, but everything slowed down, and not on the outside, but on the inside. And I was confronted with during the morning sittings with sleep, but very, very heavy sleep. Like I used to joke about people who would fall asleep in the satsang because it was just funny. And then I was kind of struggling trying to observe it, and I could see like we feel sleep like here, like wanting to fall asleep, close eyes, sleep. But then I realized it was somewhere else, and it is just something that I don't want to feel, or I don't know, that I don't want to experience, which is somewhere in the body, some kind of old, stuck basement energies or something. Yes, so just before we do the meditation, I wanted to share with you for help to deepen in this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good, clear report. It can help. Let me share something. I feel it can help in making it clear to us that what really happens to us, what has happened to us, from where that this sleep is coming. No? It can become clear. At some point, we were living as a being before, in our childhood, let's say. Meaning, living as whole of ourselves was living it. No? Anything and everything, we were living always as whole of ourselves, never part of ourselves living it. And at some point, something happened to us, and we started getting divided because we had to maintain certain things, certain face. For example, we had to maintain a certain personality, identity, and many things like this. So we got divided, and we started living partially now, things. And this living partially introduced something called effect of absence now. Before that, there were only effects of presence inside us. So they were just happy thing, like the happy taste of experiencing what we experienced and the memory connected to it. Whatever happened, happy does not necessarily connected to winning a game when we are playing a game. No, losing game also is happy, actually, for a child. So what happens is that what we are calling this unconsciousness or this sleep that is coming basically is an effect created by our absence. When we were moving in our absence, when we were doing things in our absence, this unconscious mind or subconscious mind has got created. And now, because we have done it, it has all the footprints, our fingerprints and everything in it. So it's so intimate. It looks like myself. Like, it plugs into us so quickly. Many times even we don't notice that how quickly it can become one with us, and we feel like, I'm feeling this. What are you saying? It's not something else. It's just I'm feeling. No, we may feel like this. And only very, very, sharp alertness or vigilance is required here. It can help us. No? What actually can do the miracle in solving this problem is remaining in the presence as much as we can. In the presence means like remaining as much self-aware as we can in the whole day. And if possible, we do some things from our presence also now, which is going to replace or recycle this energy very fast. Because it's about recycling this energy. How to recycle it? The way, if we listen to each item, each thought and feeling that comes out of it, it's going to be a long way. So two things I'm suggesting. One is that we learn to live in the presence, in our presence, like whole of ourself, aware of ourself and living ourself. This is that living as the presence. This whole of ourself is important part here. Because we may live our presence partially because of the habit. So living partially is our habit that has got developed long time back. And slowly we can replace it with living holistically now, anything. And then when we can live ourself, whole of ourself, living ourself, this is what is core meditation. Just sitting and doing nothing basically means that living our own being. But whole of ourself, living whole of ourself. Like whole of ourself, engaged and consumed and busy within ourselves only in exploring the beauty and the living the taste of our own being, the fabric of our own being, what it is. And then if possible, we do something necessarily not mental activity or emotional or connected to anybody else. Even physical activity is going to activate this energy also, up to some degree. And then it's recycled also. Or when we will settle more in the presence, then we will be able to feel this sleep also when it comes. Okay, the sleep is coming, like you have noticed. So I'm very much feeling that you have started noticing it as the presence that you are. Like you are now not divided and feeling that what is this thing? I have decided to sit and do nothing. From where this something else coming? Who is deciding about it? So you are noticing this now. That who is deciding that I should sleep right now? And this is how you are also discovering the gaps and the divisions between your own system, within your own system also. That this is not your system yet. It is owned by something else right now. You can own it very soon, hopefully, if not one day. But the way to own it is to remove the effects of absence. It's like this. So this is something I felt can help in understanding it. Like this. Let's say you are having a coffee and lost somewhere, like looking somewhere, like looking somewhere far, let's say some tree or something, and there is a friend on this side and talking to you, and then you're like half listening. Oh yeah. And then then you hear something important that I think I should hear it well. Then you say, sorry, can you say again? Because I did not hear you well. This is working in absence in a way, partial presence. So it's as simple as this, but it has got accumulated a lot now, and then it has become so strong. So thank you. I think it's understood. Thank you. So both the things are true, that it is there and it has to be dissipated in some way. It has to go out of your system. It is both true, and it is also true that it has nothing to do with you. Now it has nothing to do with you. It is absolutely useless for you, really. But it will be understood by you slowly that it is absolutely useless for me. Even if it apparently looks so intimate and so real and so connected to me. It's talking about me, And maybe it has some very important information to give you. Take that information. What's wrong in that? You know? But you cannot take that information from this absence or energy of absence unless if you are living as a presence. Like you are certain about your existence, your base, our existence, where our existence is based, is rooted. It is in the being, no? In existing, no? This existing is being, no? I hope we are clear about it. So when we are clear like this, then we can extract all the important things from it, information from it. Rest can just disappear. Will disappear by itself. Thank you. But please feel free if you feel that something is not clear, you can talk again also.
Namaste, beloved. Beloved, to today's satsang, everything that you're saying seems to be applying to me constantly, like everything. And I just want to report something that in the morning I had some thoughts that come, and thankfully this time it were some insightful thoughts that cleared up some misunderstandings or showed the misunderstandings to me. And here in satsang you started with one such insight, so it seems like a continuity and it feels very nice. And then you also mentioned that sometimes when we hear something that resonates with what we have thought or has occurred to us, then our heart opens up to listen more. So I could see all that happening, and all that very nice. Of course, there was a prayer that, today morning an insight came, and so my heart opened to listen to what you're saying. That seems like a limitation in my whole system, because tomorrow if such a nice, beautiful thought doesn't come in the morning that resonates with what you're saying, then my heart doesn't open up to hear so much. And I just wondered how it can just remain open so it can always get the most from...
When we were kids, our heart was always open for the ice cream, truck, or not? Like ting, 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 or immediately. Why? Because we knew what we are getting out of it. In the same way, when we will become clear about the beauty, the benefit, the blessedness, benediction of discovering who we are, then our heart will remain open for satsang. If not all the satsang, some particular satsang also maybe. Like for this satsang, for me also. Like this. This is the thing. Because I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to help you figure out what do you want to buy, and why. Like what exactly you are doing on earth in this body. I'm just trying to help you see this, or help you maybe focus on yourself also. That would you care to live your being while you can continue your shopping project. These are the things. So that this is the answer I feel. That as long as you are remaining connected to the truth, you will find this satsang always useful in some way, and your heart will start opening up more and more. Because we are caught up somehow in a way, Like in Hindi we call jungle or gunjal, like Like things have got intermingled, like threads have got intermingled inside us. No? And we are just not able to figure out like what I want and what I don't. Like, is it useful for me or not? So up to that degree, we will have to do some inner work in a way, which can be done here also up to some degree by discussing and like this. So I think it's all fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajee. Can I also discuss something on the lines of the energy flow and the unconscious energy flow that you talked about? I'll just talk about the recent past, like since some time before, I'm noticing that sometimes I become so, I don't even know if it's sensitivity or what it is, but even a little bit of, Raji, I don't know what I'm saying is real or not, or the terms that I'm using are correct or not. But even a little bit of resistance, even to my thought or anything that comes up from within me, not able to fully express it maybe in that moment, or I don't know what it really is, but it seems like those energies goes back and settles into other parts of my body, very, very physically. Like I can feel them tangibly in my hands and my belly sometimes, my waist, my heart also sometimes. It's kind of strange, and at that time I don't know what to do really. Should It's like out of control and it keeps going in and becoming more solid. I I don't even want to believe it's real. Sometimes I feel it's just imaginary stuff, but I thought I'll bring it out.
One thing I want to share with you, which I kind of generally don't share. Let us understand breathing from a different point of view, from a more deeper point of view. While we talk about it, while I will share, try to live also. This is what I'm sharing, part of it. So what is breathing? Is breathing something that we have? If breathing is something that we have, it must be in our control, no? But no, it's not in our control. We are in the control of breathing, no? In a way, like in the sense that we are dependent on breathing, no? If breathing is not there, we are not there in the body. Is it not true? So let us breathe with this understanding for now, me and you. And even every one of you is very welcome to join this exploration. And then let us try to live the truth of breathing right now, okay? Truth of breathing simply means that we live the breathing and see what exactly it is. Just this much, okay? While the breathing will remain natural, it will not remain like more faster, slower, deeper or shallow, just the way you breathe. But we are trying to live the truth of the breathing. What is exactly breathing? Right now, ignore everything else. Any thought, feeling, any understanding about it also. Just ignore everything about everything except. Don't focus on breathing to watch it or something. No. We are trying to know the truth of the breathing as deeply as we can by living it, obviously. So it's just you and the breathing. Body, of course, body, you and breathing, and focus is on the breathing right now, not on body, not on you. Like how I am connected with the breathing and how my body is connected with the breathing. We are trying to understand this just through simple living of it. And the more you will live this breathing, the more you will get out of mind, first of all. Mind being that place from where we are trying to understand everything. And you will be into the actual experience of breathing now. And for the first time, you will actually encounter what is breathing. And when we are living the breathing, we are obviously living the body also up to some degree. That part of the body which is connected to the breathing. No? So the being is actually knowing right now what is breathing and body. Not through the mind, not through the mind, not through the learned way that I know that what is breathing, I know what is body. No. From the innocence of the being, from the true wisdom of the being, you are experiencing in the present moment in which you are, breathing is and body is. And you are just ignoring everything being that which is happening inside the body, breath and the being. Everything is that which is happening. Body and breath and the being is not happening really in one sense, it is just there. Just the breathing is happening, and it is as if giving life to the body. Let us try to live how breathing is giving life to body. Let us try to live, not think. Because every breath seems to be giving life to my body. No, is it not true? But how? And from where the life is coming? From where the breathing is filling its buckets with the life flow, life energy? Where is that source of aliveness which is giving life to the breath, which is now given to the body? Every breath. So every breath that we are inhaling is giving life. Every breath that we are exhaling is clearing up the old. Whatever is old being cleared up, is thrown out. It's like an internal process of the existence. It is every exhaling is throwing out the old, which is not serving any purpose. Dirt, dust, mud, anything. Old energy, broken links, anything and everything. Anything which is not serving a purpose, because everything is made of energy. So ultimately it can be thrown out in the same exact way. It doesn't need to be treated separately if it is a thought or if it is a feeling or if it is this or that. All of it can be treated in one go, in one way. And is being treated in one go, in one way, by the breathing. So this was that exploration. Now you talk to me and tell me that what did you understand out of it? Like, were you able to live this first of all, and did you understand what is breathing now? What is your understanding of breathing now?
Beloved, I could see that I could see that that breathing was the thing that was bringing life to this body. Like, this is how the body is remaining alive, because every breathing brings in some packet of energy or something.
Yeah.
I could also, though I could not figure out where it's filling up its bucket, though. Only the most alive thing that I found in this whole thing was just me. But I couldn't see the connection. It seemed like all this was happening as a small part,
Yeah.
as an automated thing, but I didn't know how it was connecting.
Yeah. It's a very good report, very realistic. Like you could actually live the breathing consciously as the being. Because whenever you live the breathing as the being, you are able to feel the breathing also, and like know the truth of the breathing also. You are living the truth of the breathing, truth of the body, and truth of the being that you are also at the same time. It's a very powerful meditation, while it's a very powerful cleaning process also, as a side effect. Only as a side effect, not like a main. We don't do main activity like this here in this group, no. But it can serve both the purpose. While you will remain as the being, a recycling process will become faster and faster. Because whenever you live as the being and doing anything like this, you become detached from that which you feel to clear up from your system, no? And because you get detached from it, it becomes easier for the breath to throw it out of your system. Whenever we are attached to what we are trying to be free from, it is very difficult for the breath to throw it out. No? It tries, but breath is trying to remove it, and we are trying to hold it. It's like this. So that time it doesn't work like so powerfully as it would work in this way, in this guiding. No? So I feel this is the answer to what you were asking, or not? Yeah. It's a very simple thing. We need to understand life. We just maybe not fully understanding, deeply understanding it. Meaning we understand a lot, but we don't understand deeply very much. Like very few things we understand deeply, no? And about ourselves and breath and the body, we should really understand very deeply, because it is the basis of everything for ourselves. Because without body, breath, and ourselves, nothing can be experienced, done, seen, thought of. Basically, nothing can be done. Yeah. So if we remain clear about these three things, we will think necessary, we will do what is necessary, and a beautiful life. No? However, as a side effect, as a side note, when you feel that your journal flow of thought, of breathing, is not able to remove that heavy energy which you want to remove, you can just exhale faster, maybe. No? Exhale more, little bit more, like focusing on the exhaling more, gives the indication or message to the breathing system that right now you, the being, want to clear up your space more. It's an internal thing. So your breathing system will get the message that right now focus should be more in removing the old, while continue receiving the newness, aliveness of life from the source. But focus should be, more like this. So this is how you can indicate to your breathing system which is again, as you said, very automated. Because it is one with the being. So you are very right. Thank you. Very, very good.
I just want to say thank you. This is the highest gift of life that's been given. Thank you.
Very, very joyful to meet you also. Same here. Very, very beautiful. Thank you. I'm not sure if you can fully understand this or not. Like maybe you can, but not maybe everyone. But I'm actually equally excited as you are when you are living the truth of who you are. You know? And there is an internal reason behind it. It's not that it's not, it is true that I have love for you, but it is not that because of my love for you. It's nothing personal about it here. It's something existential. You know? So very, very nice. And I thank you for that. Thank you that you are living truth.
Namaste, Rajee. I have a question about what you said in the beginning of this meeting is living what is existing. And
Yeah, we live what is existing.
yeah.
Yeah, true.
And you asked this whether this is you asked that is it too easy or is it too complex to understand? And at that moment, or even now, I feel that it seems abstract
Abstract.
to me because whatever is existing, we are living whatever we choose to live. So, but it still doesn't. There is a sense of incompletion, as if we are not living what is existing. And that's why I felt, can you, I needed some guidance or understanding of this statement of live what is existing.
Yes. When let's say I'm living this chai right now, no, there is a possibility that I will just live this chai only and do nothing else. And what will be that nothing else? This time could be thinking about something important. It's okay, practical life. No? You may need to think. It's okay. It's not like meditation time all the time. No? But there is a possibility that you may be imagining about chai and not living it at all. Even when it is in your hand, even when you are sipping the chai also. You know. So chances are that you are imagining about something else because if you imagine about the chai, it will be a conflicting reality and you will wake up. No? Whenever there is a conflict, we wake up. No? That's why conflicts in our life internally, they help a lot no? In waking us up. Then sweet times. No? But let's say you are imagining about having a chai. You don't really have chai in your hands right now. Because that will be a conflict, no? So, however hard you try, even if you had chai once in your life, you will never be happy in imagining about it. Meaning you will never feel that I'm fully able to experience it. You will have something is missing, something is not complete here. That something is the reality. The reality is not being lived by you right now. You are just imagining about this, no? And to the best of your knowledge, like how deep was that experience is creating that basis from where the imagination is creating something out of it, no? Do you see the ability of imagining and the imprints of that experience of chai, how deep it went inside that is working like a factory or a process to create the experience of chai right now. And if you had the best chai ever, like if you had the experience of drinking chai to the deepest possible, in the way that you will feel that I cannot go deeper than that, or I don't want to. Then if you imagine, you will not feel that I am incomplete, or this process is incomplete. Then you will feel it's fine. From the complete, more complete comes. No? But because that process itself was incomplete, like the experience of having chai that time was not complete. And now, by imagining about it, you may believe that I am going to complete it, and you will not. So, basically, imagining about what exists is causing us the experience that I'm not able to live it really. There is something missing. Many of our things inside us, the mind's abilities, are serving the truth actually. They are not serving ego. No? One of them is this sense of incompletion is not serving ego. Actually, the detailing of it is serving ego. The detailing why it is like this, that is serving ego or mind. No? But the very core of the sense that something is not complete, that is not serving ego. It is serving truth. You the being. Because you the being can be only happy when you taste what exists. Because whenever you taste what exists, you taste who you are, who exists also. Completion happens here. Completion of the experiencer and the experience happens. Like one thing. It becomes one thing. Like something became complete. Something became free. Like you became free for the moment. That's why there is so much importance of deep experiencing, profound experiencing. This is the importance. Try to understand one more key here is that which is a very strange thing to be understood also and can be useful. I feel that let's say you are having this cup of tea right now, and all you are supposed to do, all you should do is that attend this tea and do not attend anything else. Live this tea and do not live any other thing right now. If living of this tea requires you to live your body, also included in the package. If living of this tea requires you to live your breathing, also fine. If living of this cup of tea requires you to live your being, also fine. No. If anything, living of anything goes against living the cup of tea, not fine. No. So ideally, this is what it means to be in the present. This is what it means to be in the present moment. No. But We are not doing like this. While we are having tea, we are thinking about many other things. Some of them could be practical life situation where really we need to think, which is okay. But let's say right now we are not like we are doing something special called having a cup of tea, which I proposed many times. During this time, we are not thinking about anything else. Like we don't need to think about, but still we will continue thinking. Why? Because internally, a circle of greed and unfulfillment. Greed and unfulfillment is going on inside us. Like we are unfulfilled, we are feeling unfulfilled continuously, and we are seeking for fulfillment. And while we are having this tea, we are believing that this tea is not sufficient to fulfill me. So I need more. And because of that, we are adding more unfulfillment to that pool of unfulfillment called the sense of lack. Even this cup of tea could remove a lot of unfulfillment from our being if we could deeply experience it. If not all of that. However, it has power to remove all of the unfulfillment from our being if we can deeply experience this. So this is the thing. That we are caught up in a vicious circle of sense of unfulfillment, incompletion, and seeking doing those things partially again, adding more to the pool, adding more to the experience or to the energy pool of absence, our absence, unconsciousness. This is the thing. Where to break it? This is where to break it. Living in the present as much as we can. It's not about what we are doing. That's why I gave this simple example that anything can be done. Writing an email is fine. Reading a message, talking to somebody, doing some office work is fine. But in the present, the more we do things in the present, the more somehow we are out of that circle. We are caught up in a circle. That is what is imprisonment of the soul. Do you think that it is easy to imprison a soul? It's not so easy. It's a miracle how a soul can be imprisoned. No? Soul is imprisoned only through misunderstanding. That it believes that I can get ultimate fulfillment through the same circle of mind in which it is, and it's still having a hope from it. No? The day it will become free from the hope from that mind way, it will become free. Then when the being is free, it is already true. It already is joy. It is made of joy. The being is made of joy. It doesn't have to seek joy anywhere. Just sitting anywhere, doing any damn thing, I tell you, it is going to experience only bliss, only joy. The only condition is that it is living as itself. This is the thing. So I hope and this time now the being is living that which exists, because being exists. The biggest miracle of life or mystery of life is who we are. I am. I am, no? This who exists is the biggest miracle of life. The biggest blessing of life also, and mystery of life also. Like the joy begins from here, but at the joy or at the bliss, life does not end. The mystery begins and deepens more and more. You become more happy. Like, oh my God, what is this? Like a lot more is known here also. So I think we are clear, no? Yeah, thank you. I feel we should do small experiments, real experiments with ourselves. Like a small activity to check that how we are imagining and what is the difference between imagining and actually experiencing something, even small like this, something small like a cup of tea even. And we will become clear fundamentally about many things. Meaning we will become clear that imagining is not going to serve any purpose, but it is going to suck. Because imagining sucks. Meaning for us, who are trying to wake up from it. Meaning it sucks our energy and it gives us hope. Whenever your being does something, you are convinced that it is going to give you something. So that kind of makes the belief stronger. That is going to work for me. I think it's good. Thank you. And please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that we don't need to do anything in this world to achieve anything or create anything. No, we need to do absolutely everything as much as we want to. So like whatever we want to create in this world, whatever we want to achieve in this world, we have to make effort accordingly in the same proportion. That's a separate story. We are not talking about that, no? We are talking about blissfulness, joyfulness, truth of who we are and living of that. No? We are talking about that. That for that this effort does not apply in this way. Something else is needed. That something else is value for it, care about it, appreciation for it, or more importantly, opening our eyes. So I think, thank you.
For this thing of imagining, like what I've started to notice after I sit for a little bit, like when I meditate, and I've started to now value this more. There is a fresh imagining. It's like making something, and that has a very different flow. Since you spoke about imagining, it feels as if out of that little feeling of it seems to be also an act of creativity. So like it also comes through and something that I imagine as I am more rested and relaxed into my being. So is this what they often say about meditation and creativity? Is this also like the imagining part is what I want to? It acts also as something which, like for example, something to cook. So something will come as a thought, and I imagine it to be tasting or feeling like this, and then I create it. And so, like creative imagination, is that also something that I just was wondering as you spoke about imagining? Like it felt more like an act of being. And I just wanted to confirm that. I feel that's...
It can be or cannot be. It's not necessarily like a fixed thing. Creativity and imagination, creativity and imaginations in one sense go hand in hand, and also they are not the same thing. Creativity basically comes from the creative force. From where the creative force comes? It comes from the source of life. It comes from the being also, who we are, no? I am. It comes from the I am, from the being, and plus some intention it has, some inspiration it has to bring something in this world. No? So that is what causes creation to take place. Now creation requires some direction. Based on how clear the being is, based on what is its intention behind the intention to create something, it will employ that level of imagination. Different levels of imaginations are available to it. Very personal, very individual, less individual, more towards universal, and totally universal, like for the world, not for certain people, for example. So it will require a different kind of power of imagination for that time. Imagination simply means, you can say in this case, not thinking locally, but more using the stored knowledge of within the human consciousness. No? Human consciousness is one thing. It stores all the knowledge which have happened so far to anyone and everyone, and so extracting that and using that to create something. So this is what happens. No? Based on how rooted we are in the being and how pure is our intention to help anyone, and that that degree or that type of imagination is required. Imagination basically is trying to access some information or knowledge which we don't have ourselves in a way. Meaning this type of imagination is a different imagination. There is an imagination which is rooted in our past only, which is limited to our past also. So that's a different imagination we are talking about. We were talking about before, no? This is different. This is about having that, using that knowledge which we don't have even. It's like that. And it is possible, but it's different. So I think we are clear. Yeah, thank you. This kind of imagination, artists, no, the art people, artists, they use this imagination. Very, very rarely it happens that something which has never happened in the human consciousness also happens sometimes. It's a very rare thing to happen, but it comes directly from the source now. No? Otherwise, it's always a combination of something which has already happened in the human consciousness. No? Like freshly, 100% new is a very, very rare thing to happen in existence. But it does happen sometimes. I think it's very good. Stephanie, you want to talk?
Yes, hello, beloved.
Hello.
Can you hear me well?
I can.
I'm so in awe. I just feel to express my gratitude that I can receive you. It's more like I cannot put a finger on what is understood, but it's like just I'm drinking you, and this is such a it's so amazing. Such a miracle for me, because there was so much resistance in the past, because I felt so incomplete and was really angry with you because I felt like this. and yeah, it's
Me?
just only
You were angry with me?
Yes, because I felt so rejected, because I felt so guilty, and felt so guilty that I can't always take everything in, because it's so much, it's too much clarity for someone who feels stuck. Yeah, and I thought no. And so
It makes sense. No, I
there was so
noted
much
it down.
conflict here.
I'll take care next time.
Yes. And I can laugh about it. And so I'm so happy that this flood of your love, of your clarity, just was greater than this. I have to be different. I have to understand all these attacks against the limited
Oh, understood.
and imagined person and imagined something. And the last satsang I heard also last night, and it was so, it's always fresh when I even only click on one of your satsangs on YouTube. I'm in wonder. And now this joy, what you're talking about, is really just here. I come in and it's here. I don't need to think anymore. And
Very nice.
I'm just so grateful, and also now I can see what has clouded this. When you talked in the morning about the leaning to one side, it's like answered everything you will say. It's just answered prayer, what just is going on here. And leaning to one side, I could see so much when I identify with a certain state. It's a mess, always. And I had it the last time in connection with my family. There's a seeming dying brother, and we all are discussing about 6 siblings, how to deal with it. And I was emotionally so involved to change the situation. And you give the key just not to come back to that everything is already here and everything is right when I don't lean to one side. And I cannot I'm not easy with words, but it's immediate to not decide to touch anything.
Yes. Because this is how we are going to transcend our habit of the compulsive thinking or compulsively going into the way of person. No? This is how we are going to transcend.
Yeah, and also not to evaluate what you said in the morning, to think we are succeeding is already not succeeding in meditation. This is also so clear, and it's always such an eye opener, and the response to this is the joy, which I now can feel. To sit here with you, and I finally can relax into being. It was such a struggle because it's beating up of I should understand this what you say, but it's coming through another door, and that makes you so alive, so joyful.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Very good.
Mm-hmm. And it's really, I feel you like a song of my own heart. And
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. In all of us, the being of life is becoming free from identification with being an individual self. No? Like this, it is unbecoming the individual self, but it is not becoming the being after that. It is just remaining as the being. Please understand this. It is not becoming the being, it is just remaining as the being. It is just unbecoming only. Meaning, it's not becoming the universal being, because that is the desire of the individual to become the universal being, so we can access everything, No. That individual self cannot stretch itself so much that it can become universal, ever. But when the being of life unbecomes the individual, it remains as the universal being, like this. Let us be clear about these things also. Otherwise, we will, get identified again with a wrong desire, or we will wait. And some of you, I'm sure, can very clearly understand, because you are experiencing it on daily basis, that when you will remain as the being, the being, not my being, your being, the very being. As you will remain as this being, then you will notice becoming in the body-mind also, through the activity. When the doing will take place, a sense of doer will arise. And identification will also happen. If you have tasted your being and the freedom of the being, and if you remain in that freedom of being, even if the identification happens, nothing has happened actually. Nothing has happened. Because the being of life, even if identified with a particular body, remains still the being of life only. In the experience, in the knowing, everything. Nothing lost, nothing changed at all. You know. So whenever you feel that, oh, I have an objection about identification, try to check who you are right that time, and you will become clear. That you don't have an objection about identification, you have an objection about being who you are right now. Because you have stopped living who you are, only this much. Identification is fine. Anything and everything is fine as long as you are living as the being. In the being that you are, awareness is natural. Natural in the sense that being and being aware is the same thing. So you don't have to be aware of something in order to remain free as the being. Remember this. In the meditation, we learn the way of the being. This is that way of the being, ultimately, that we come to the true state of being and we remain as that, which includes being aware up to the degree, meaning being aware towards whatever matters, like being aware of our nature, being aware of anything which can cause us to forget our nature, both. So that alertness is natural in the being. Living ourself is more than enough. And doing all the effort to be clear about whether I'm living myself or not is also important. Because this path is full of deceptions. This direction of going inside is full of deceptions also. Thank you. It's very nice. Hilde, you want to talk?
Hello, Rajee.
Hello, Hilde.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to speak to you.
How
as
nice.
It's been such a long time. And thank you for the beautiful satsang. Everything you've said from the beginning just immediately spoke to me. It was as if you can read my mind and the things that come up in it. You direct it so gracefully. And I was traveling lately, and I was in a very beautiful scenery in the mountains. Everything was so fresh and clear, and every day I woke up and I thought I want to live it to the fullest, like exactly what we're speaking about today. And it was actually quite hard for me, because I felt that as I've been doing so much meditation and practicing, I feel like there's a distance between the outside and myself. Myself I can feel more clearly, and the inner world. But outside world is like there's like it's fake almost. Like a movie screen, or it feels far away from me, and this really surprised me. And now that we're talking, I think, maybe I was not living completely, or maybe I created this. Maybe you can say something about it.
I'll just freely share something, and then if it doesn't connect, like you are not able to connect to it, you can say again, and then we try to look at it in another way. This statement from in the Zen is very fascinating. It's very attractive for me for so many different times, including right now. It says like this, that before we start meditating, trees are trees Landscapes are landscapes, mountains are mountains, rivers are rivers, sky is sky. As we start meditating, trees are not trees anymore, mountains are not mountains anymore, rivers are not rivers anymore, and sky is not sky anymore. And as we complete the meditation, trees are trees again, mountains are mountains again, rivers are rivers again, and sky is sky again. No? What it means is that during the process of awakening, for which we are doing meditation, changes take place inside us, and we are not able to experience the outer life in that natural way in which we used to experience in our childhood, in the beginning, let's say, or before we started meditating. And it looks like this sometime that, for example, what you are saying may appear like this, that there is a distance created, which is not a bad thing in itself, but it is not true. It is a state in between, where we are finding ourselves to be more of a detached seer and seer of everything. Like we are more a seer right now than an experiencer, which is not a bad thing for discovering who we are, because this kind of detachment is also part of being free. But once we become free, we return to life actually again. Then we don't really feel the fear from what exists. Then our definition is different. Now our definition is not about what exists, and within that is there any discrimination or definition required, division required. No, only that which exists, that what exists is truth. And we have found a internal way to experience it now, without being a person. No? Like an internal way, like a way of the being to experience. No? Like I feel sometimes that we can experience a tree through the mind and senses. No? Basically, through the mind and senses simply means through the mind. Because mind is using the senses. To its own advantage, whatever way it wants, rejecting the report which it doesn't like, adding something to the report also as it feels in the moment. So through the mind we can experience a tree, or we can experience a tree through the heart as we are more open to it, like open to the freshness, to the newness, to the uniqueness of this particular tree. No? And we will have a very deep experience of the tree. And then we can experience our existence. At some point, we discover our existence. Then we look at the tree again. This time, actually, we are able to experience we are able to appreciate the existence of the tree from our existence. This is the way of the being. This is the way of the existence to experience what exists. Because tree does exist actually. It is not imagination, and if it is imagination, it is not our imagination. It is imagination of the Supreme Being, Brahma, Parabrahma. So it's not our imagination. For us it is a creation, where the hands of the Beloved can be seen. Signature of the Beloved can be seen. So this is all I could say. I hope that it kind of fits somewhere and can help you.
Yes, very helpful and very true also. I've noticed now during Satsang and thinking back of my experience that I really pick what I want to experience deeply, or if I'm afraid of it, I want to create a distance and I'm absent in that way. And I see it now so clearly that there's lots of things that I'm like, no, I don't want it to come close to me. And
yes.
but by doing that, I feel like I cannot run away. I'm here. I cannot choose not to be here. And this distance I feel is hindering me from experiencing something deeply. Like nothing seems like a very intense experience somehow.
True, true, very, very true. I'm very happy to hear this, but it's a very, very deep observation, very clear knowing of something. It's very, very true. And I want to just tell you one thing, that when we hear the word like vulnerable, open, these are very scary words for us generally. And maybe they are in the personal life. Yes, we have to take care. No? We cannot be open for everything in personal life, for example. It makes sense. But there is a way in between somewhere where we don't need to contact the personal life or any other person for opening to who we are. There is a way, and that is the way to deep, profound experiencing also. Like as if we have got caught up in some way that without experiencing life personally with other persons or other form, I cannot become free from this way of experiencing. No, there is a way of being free. There is a way through which we can become free from this limited way of experiencing, because that is limited way of being gives us limited way of experiencing. True way of being provides us or gives us back our true way of experiencing, which is a deep way of experiencing. It, by the way, includes selective experiencing also. Like things which you don't want to experience, they are just like not there for you, the being. And things which you like to experience, like you can experience them as deeply as possible. It includes this also, this ability also, but not in between. Only when we are really settled in the being, then we have this natural capacity. Like your focus is all that is there in which anything can happen. Nothing happening anywhere matters to you anymore. Like it doesn't come to you anymore. That's the point. And your focus is governed by you, not by any unconscious tendencies or anything. No? Now, when you are settled in your being. So this is also the thing. No? Because so much is happening in the existence. If we really experience everything, even our body cannot be healthy. Body mind cannot remain healthy and stable. No? Because it will not be able to contain. So there has to be a filtering system, and there is. But that time it is the way, through the way of the being, through the wisdom of the being, that things are filtered out.
I notice also that my filtering system right now is a very spiritual oriented person. Like if things are coming from outside that are very personal, I'm like, no. I don't infect me with that. And I don't want to let that in, but it also, that cannot be a right way. And there's also
Yes.
a human being behind that. Or there's something being organized and there's absolutely no like soul in it, or I find it to be very non-spiritual, then I have like I try to stay aloof from that, which is really weird actually. I don't find that to be like a very true or filter, like it cannot be that way.
Yeah. It's very good that you are able to see these things. Believe is not our strength, it is our weakness. And we know this actually. That's why we suffer from it, and yet we somehow remain caught up in it. As soon as we see that belief is my weakness, not a strength. My wisdom is my strength. my true wisdom, true knowing of something, about something, is my strength, not my weakness, then we will go for true knowing more and more. No? And we will become free from, we will replace all our beliefs with our true knowing of the respective things. No? Like you will choose that, no, I want to know really. Does really these things affect me the way I am afraid they will affect me? You know, by doing maybe a small experiment. Okay, let me see. And by the way, what you said is so true that I cannot escape from life. Like in the previous conversation, you said that I'm just there and things are there. They are just coming to me. But by being afraid of them in the personal way, I'm creating sort of a gap between them. But that gap is within me only, no? So I'm creating a gap within myself only. That is what is unconsciousness or like this. And then I'm not able to deeply live or experience anything. Yeah. It's a very insightful thing what you are saying. I appreciate it very much. So like this we become afraid of living actually. Because living always brings that kind of fear that I don't know what is going to come inside me. There is a way of being, of living life, in which we are not so much like something which absorbs everything, like a child. No, like a child is very open, but it also absorbs everything. No? Whatever happens around it, it just simply absorbs without thinking whether it is. You know what I mean? But when the being that you are wakes up, you are still as innocent as a child, but you are not absorbing everything anymore. You are just simply present with everything. You are not absorbing anything. For some things you come out of yourself through your attention and experience them. But still you don't take anything home anymore. And you remain pure and empty of everything all the time now. No? This is what is going to happen. So it's a very genuine thing. We are troubled by it because whatever goes inside is going to create some disturbance now, some change. And what that change will be disturbing or nice, we don't know. Makes sense. So thank you. Very nice talking to you. Deepa, you want to talk?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Thank you.
I feel blessed to have you in my life. And it has changed exponentially. You know, things have started, becoming more clearer day by day. And I would like to, highlight one thing, which, as per my observation, I feel all we need to do is to heal our emotional wounds, which we have created from past, not just, the current traumas of the current lifetime, but the past emotional wounds. And mind is very random. It is not in our control to put in what thought and what not. But the emotions actually give it, like you rightly mentioned, right? That the senses, when we connect our thoughts to the senses, then only some reaction comes out of it. But if we are able to focus on our senses, and if we are able to, balance our emotions, then we are well connected with the mind, like our soul is well connected with the mind, and we are not able to give any unnecessary reaction to any situation. And then surrender in the process rather than fighting against it. What is happening to me? Why it is happening to me? It's just that, okay, I know there's some higher power which is working on it. It's not me who is doing things around me, but my reaction to it has to be different, else I'll be stuck in these cycles again and again, again and again. Can you highlight on these things?
Oh. Uh, See, one thing is clear, every one of us knows now that we are being. We are a being. We are being means we are something which exists and which is existing all the time. So that part is fixed, like it's a fixed truth. That is not changing. What is changing is our energy, like emotional energy, and our understanding in the mind. These two things are the variable factors, and they are changing, and based on that, they are deciding many things in a way. We are dependent on both actually, either together or independently, one at a time. Like sometime we are dependent on the understanding of the mind, or most of the time we are dependent on the depend on the understanding of the mind, and sometime we decide from the emotional wisdom also. And emotional wisdom is a very powerful wisdom, but if our emotions are pure, then only, because our emotions are also not pure right now. Meaning our emotions are not our emotions. This is the problem. And they are not somebody's emotions that we can find out, okay, hey, they are your emotions, and then we can fight with that guy, why you gave me these emotions. Not like this. They are not somebody's emotions also, and they are not our emotions also. So this is what is precisely personal energy. It belongs to nobody. And yet it has power. And we feel that it is my emotion, for example. So this is what is unconscious emotional energy. We were talking about today also. And it has to be recycled. And the wisdom in the mind also has to be improved. So that is what is clarity. Clarity means basically at the mind level, the clarity is improving the understandings, making them more real, more alive, changing them from beliefs to the real knowings, replacing the beliefs with the real understandings, alive understanding, like my understanding, like your understanding, not somebody has said this, not that. That will be believing, no? And the same clarity shines like a purity in the heart when we are purifying that emotional content, emotional, energy also. Like our emotional energy, let's say, living emotional energy that we have inside is like a old livings. No, it is the old livings. No. It has to be freed to live the new, first of all. So it's not that our ability to live, the emotional ability to live, or ability to live, actually same thing. So it is not that our emotional ability to live life is stuck now, meaning it has been spent, so we have no emotional energy to live life left anymore. No, it's not true like this. We still can directly from the being experience anything, while bypassing all the old, emotional energy. It is possible, like creating a new life. But this time, this will be a life of a being, not of a person. Person is that as that we know ourselves. Who like the reference of who we are is in the person, and which is the mainly rooted in the emotional energy, where we have the reference of who I am, who are other in relation to me. Like, do you know yourself without referring to others? If you do, this is what is called I am. No? As simple as this. And if you don't, that is called person. Personal reference. No? Personal reference basically means referring to others in order to refer to who I am. No? That's what is personal reference of the self. So it is possible to actually start living directly from the being. This is what is called living in the moment, living in the present. No? Living in the present basically is creating individuality out of the being and the energies and the body and the life and everything. No? Like moving from person to individual now. No? But generally it doesn't happen so easily like this because of our unawareness of who we are, first of all. Like we don't know that I am the being. We don't know that this emotional content, what it is calling, what it is telling I am not that. We are not clear about it. That's why we take this to be ourselves. That's why the emotional content is so important for us now. It's what are you saying? This is my thinking. I am feeling like this. How can I just let go of it? We feel like this. So this is where a recycling is necessary. It's an actual thing. We can say that ignore everything, but we are not able to ignore really. Only those who are living as the being can ignore it. Nobody else can. Living means have started living already. Only though they can ignore it. Meaning they have a choice to ignore it or to recycle it. Because to ignore this emotional energy, we have to discard all the emotional understanding also of life, which has happened so far. We have to have the new understanding of life now. Like slowly it has to be created, everything. Like we will be like an innocent child now, without any knowledge. Awake child, but still a child, without knowledge. No? So because emotions contain knowledge also. So these are the things, like where to begin. I think I have given enough reference that where we can begin based on how we feel. Like how much we are free from these emotions, how much we are not. Based on that we can do something. But nevertheless, try to make everything yours now, whatever is inside. Make sure that it is mine now. Whether emotion, whether thought, it is mine, or you know, either it has to be mine or it has to be out of my system. Like two things. So anything which agrees to be yours, meaning the way of the being, no, or out.
Yes, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because
Thank
then
you so much.
thank you. Because then only you can be comfortable and happy and kind of integrated like this anytime and fearless also in a way. Like you can move in life very nicely without fear that okay, what will be the consequences of what I have done so far. Like otherwise we are continuously living in fear. No, you can very fearlessly experience life now. Like okay, like happily and integrated one being.
It's like universe has its way of, showing things in a way. If everything is falling, if you feel like everything is falling apart, and rather than giving in and, doing something ugly out of a situation and messing it up, if you just surrender, then you'll see, okay, if somebody is doing bad to you, karma takes place right away. So, so I don't have to do anything. I don't have to. Why should I intervene? It's the supreme power who is doing everything. And in some way or the other way, things become difficult so that you can grow out of it rather than, just dealing with it every day and thinking through it a lot. So, yes.
In general sense, it makes sense to believe certain things like this. That until I know all these things, makes sense to believe that some higher power is taking care of these things. Because do I not surrender to the pilot when I board in a plane? Then why should I not, surrender to this creator and maintainer of this whole existence, even if I have never met personally? But I make sense to believe this. So these are good beliefs in a way for the time being. They can help us. And then they can make us free from engagement with many things and so that we can focus on the real work. So anything which helps you in remaining free from the engagement and focus onto yourself is a good thing, good practice in a way. No? But that should not become an engagement in itself. Please be aware. Because if it does, it has defeated the purpose. Like the medicine for the addiction should not become the addiction. This is the point.
Yeah, rightly said. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All these things which we are talking is not ultimately true in itself. These are useful things. Ultimately, there's just one thing happening, that is the being that you are is waking up. Only one thing, nothing else. All of this is included in this. Like the more you will wake up, the more your wisdom will wake up, true wisdom, and you will be able to see truly how things are. Then your report will change. Your complaints will turn into appreciation. At some point, even gratitude and prayer to the Lord that thank you. I don't know you, I did not meet you, but I feel you and I thank you. No? Thank you that I exist. No? Meaning, do I have any control about it? That can any one of you connect to this? What I'm saying? Do I have any control that I have a choice to exist or not? Do I have any choice control about it? I don't really. It's a blessing of my Lord that I exist. It's a blessing that I'm aware that I exist. No? In a way, I don't know where is my Lord. In a way, the way I know the Lord is much deeper knowing than anything else I know in this world, in this existence. You will know this clearly. Because our Lord is our own essence of being. Our existing includes our Lord, the experience of our Lord. So surrender to your own existence, the essence of it, if you really want to surrender to the Lord of this universe. No? It's a very internal thing. And things will start becoming so balanced and harmonious and joyful. I think it was Hilde or somebody else who was saying in the beginning that as if you can read my mind. And I wanted to say that I cannot, but he can. He can read your mind. Because he is the one who is coordinating satsang, no? He is the one who is kind of maintaining or kind of, like what we will explore today and what will be discussed and spoken and, like this. He can. I cannot. And the day you will see this more and more, you will surrender to him also. You will not be so much of a devotee projecting something on the Lord, but more a prayer. Who is just using its sensitivity to live the presence of Lord only, nothing else. It is not using any energy to imagine, to demand, to desire anything. It's a prayer which does not have any desire or any words anymore, no? It's a prayer in silence that has only one longing to continue living more and more and more the presence of Lord. Because there is nothing more beautiful than this. This is something beyond bliss. This is something beyond bliss. More beautiful than bliss even. This is more beautiful than even liberation, I tell you. Because even in liberation, there is a possibility of a subtle form of self remaining. No? Here there is a guarantee. The presence of Lord is the guarantee that my sense of existence will not remain at all. This is more of a prayer coming from my being. I don't know how useful it is for any one of you or whether it is your prayer also in your heart or not. But there has to be at least one or two people, in our group right now that this kind of sharing feels like having, no? This is that way through which we become free from any form of division, from the Lord, from the source. Just one remains now. The way to merge with the Lord is very, very joyful, very, very blissful. There is no struggle. We don't merge with the Lord because we have to put some conditions that, okay, I will get this or that. No, not those things. No, because the joy is so much, it is something beyond bliss that we feel I don't want anything else. Like everything falls away here. Not that we have to give up something. It's not a bargain. It's a love affair with the Lord, within the essence, within the being that we are. The lover and the beloved both are inside us. The more the lover relaxes, the more the beloved appears, reveals itself. No? जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं, अब हरि है मैं नहीं. No? Like when I was there, Lord was not there. Now Lord is here, I is not found. I is not found now. There is no reference of I as a reality that, okay, it has to do something, it has to reach somewhere, it has to attain something, it can lose something. It is not maintaining anything. That which remains now is maintaining everything. No? That is Lord. No? That which exists is Lord. No? Which exists without effort. That is Lord. That is truth, I feel. Thank you. Very, very nice, Deepaji. You are, I feel, very pure soul, no? That such a sharing happened. Thank you, beloved.
Thank you so much. It's all your guidance.
Anna, you want to talk? Thank you, beloved.
Yes, apologies for raising my hand twice. Apologies for raising my hand twice, but I didn't want to end the satsang without, because I can feel I could not connect today, not on that deep level. Like I understand the text and connecting to the words that you're saying is somehow not enough. But because of that, I could feel that while Hilda was speaking and you were answering about this vulnerability of true connection, I could see that I'm not connecting, and I did not want to end the satsang without having you here in my heart. Thank you.
It's very good, I feel, no? I would feel that if you had not raised your hand, that would not be nice. No? So very good that you raised your hand. No? There are only two things. Please understand that there are only two things. One is that natural state of being, but natural state of being not like somewhere. No, natural state of my being. Natural state of your being. Your being means carrying that vigilance and understanding that how important it is. No, that is the essence of mind. Essence of the learnings of all of the learnings of the mind is that how important it is my own existence. And that wisdom of the mind, the essence of the mind, is what is also going to help us in filtering out, not like highlighting that I don't need to attend this or that, for example. So this is our natural state of being. This is one thing. Another thing is everything else in a way, So in that everything else, or in that other state of being, we don't really have a real option. We don't have many options to get out of it. Please understand this clearly. So when we are not, let's say you were not able to connect. That time we don't have many options. So you took very right route in a way, right action that, hey, I want to connect. Because I want to get out of that. We don't have to do something there. We just have to get out of it into our natural state. That's all. Always this should be the only thing to do. Meaning this should be the only thing for beings like you, Hannah, who have understood the importance of it now. That in my true state everything is perfect, even if so many thoughts are going on and so many struggles in life, but all is joy, all is bliss. But when I am not in my true state, even if I seemingly, apparently I am succeeding, but somehow there is always a sense of incompletion in me. Like something is kind of not okay. So when we are caught up in that false state, we don't have many options really to get out of it. So let us try to understand our options as much as we can. Meditation is a very powerful option, for example. Satsang is more powerful than meditation even, when we understood the importance of it. And once you are out of it, then think about it, that what to do not to get into that false state. So when we are in the false state, that time we should not do many things. Actually, ideally, we should do only one thing: how to get out of it into my true state. And if we have nobody, let's say there is no help available in the form of satsang, and we are not able to meditate also, let's say, like we are not able to understand that how to meditate. How to meditate means how to not do anything in that state. So in the false state, we are invited to not do anything. Not do anything means not engage with anything that is happening, because this is the dream world right now. We are in a dream world right now. In the false state, we are in a dream world which does not really exist anywhere. It just parallelly exists. It exists in the minds of the experiencers. It exists in the human beings who are living it continuously. It's not existing actually anywhere independently. It is existing only when it is being lived. As soon as it is not lived, it's not there. But there is something which still exists even if it is not being lived. That is truth. That is the true manifestation, the creation of the Supreme Being. How about your physical body? How about your breath? Is it your creation? Not really. This is real. This is real manifestation. Use the body and breath as much as you can to get out of the false state also. Like we have learned today. So just simply do not attend anything else. Attend your breathing and your body, for example. And this will come, that will come. Just keep doing this, and you will be out of it. Meaning, maybe it will not work for everyone, but for beings who have tasted their being, it will work very powerfully, very fast, very quickly. It's like a no-nonsense method, in a way. It's like a no frills in a way. It's a very pure method to get out of ego into your being. Because what you have to do there, is it like this, is it like that, is it like this, do you have to define things, or you just have to get out of, if for those who want to just get out of ego, this works very simply. Because all that you have to do in order to get out of that imagining or dreaming is to focus on something real. Just focus on something real. Either focus on yourself if you can, but if you could, you would have done that already. So then if you cannot focus on the self that you are, then focus on something which exists even in the dreaming. That is the body and the breath. In the dreaming state, even then, there the body and breath exist. Because even to dream, you have to exist in the body. Do you see what I'm saying? So, are you able to understand something, connect to it, something?
There is silence and there is emptiness, but somehow they were clinical. Like there is no love. There was none of this love connection, and this is why I raised my hand.
Meaning, is it still like this?
It's a bit better now when you were speaking. I will do pranayama.
No, you can do that later on. But
breathing. I mean, yes,
yeah.
Right now.
Right now we don't need to do that, no?
Yes.
Right now you just talk to me and listen to me, no?
Yeah. Yes, it is as if something is defreezing. It was this frozen silence and emptiness,
Yeah.
like some kind of maintenance of the silence and emptiness, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can just leave that right now, and you can give up everything for your ordinary existence right now, okay? And you will have to give it up many, many times before you become totally, completely wise, no? Because this is why great saints who have happened before us, great beings, they told us, they warned us that you are going to get into many states and they will look so similar to your true state of being. Be very alert. Be very clear about what is there in your true state of being which is not there in anywhere. Like a very specific thing. Try to identify something very specific about your true state. And you could actually, that's why you were saying that this is not what it is. But again and again, remind yourself that I still do exist. And as long as I exist, my true state also exists. My true state is as close to me as I am, my own existence. You would not really feel like attaining something here when you have started relaxing in your existence. You will rather feel like as if your attention is falling. Some people reported that it feels like as if it's like a freely falling into something like truth. We are not falling into truth. We are the truth into which the falling is happening. Only our attention is falling. And the more attention falling back into ourselves, the more joy, more natural knowing of who we are happening also. And when sufficient amount of attention has fallen inside our being, then it doesn't really matter how many thoughts are flowing right now inside us, or feelings or anything. Because you, the being, is happy now. You, the being, is contented now. Like, I'm happy. When you are happy, blissful by your own bliss, you would not open your eyes for anything else inside you. For bliss you will not. For survival in the existence, in the body is fine. For that you will do something, but for your bliss you will not. So it is like a most existential, most simple, and yet most important art that we are learning when we are learning meditation. or the way of the being. No? How to remain who I am, how to remain as what I am. And in that, we are learning everything actually. We are learning what is mind, how I get caught up, how to be free from it. We are learning all of this also. Falling back into our own existence is like it's a scene of a love affair where when we are separated from the beloved for some time, then so many stories, so many questions, so many thought come in mind. I will say like this, I will say like that, and this can resolve, this can reconcile my relation. And once that separation is gone, all those thoughts and everything just simply disappears. Like no formality required anymore. The key is to not hold on to anything and becoming like a pure alertness or awareness towards it, like a very specific alertness or awareness that I am not holding on to anything. Then there is absolutely nothing which can stop you from being in your true state. I think it's very nice. No? Thank you. Very, very nice. So very good. It was very nice meeting all of you today. I'm feeling very happy, blessed. Thank you for your presence. Thank you.